You were saying earlier that my dad, he was in a lot of mischief when he was growing up.
Oh, like he had to go out to, what is the name of that place?
Was it like a?
It's over by Coal Valley.
Is it still there now?
They still have a place out there. I've never been out there, but they sent him out there for I don't know how long, just a year or so.
How old was he?
Well, you saw the picture of him with the calf,
Okay.
so he would have been in his teens, somewhere there in his teens.
And while he was there, they give him, I guess, special jobs or whatever to do, and that's how he got the calf.
They let the kids raise animals, take care of animals. They were on a farm. It was out in the country and all, and that he had a calf that he took care of apparently.
And did the court send him there, or was it his parents? So the judge?
It was a court.
Okay.
They had to pay for him to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Grace and
Kenneth paid his room and board and stuff.
Wow.
Is the name of that place? I'll have to see if I can remember myself what it was. I didn't think I'd forget it.
And was it a bunch of things that led him up that he had to go, or was it just a couple?
A bunch of kids that were stealing bicycles and selling the parts.
That's all it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, listen, you took punishment for what you did back when we were kids.
Yeah.
When your dad was kids, they did too. And then they got it so that they didn't get by with murder now. And they say,
Right.
oh, that poor little boy had a bad childhood, didn't he?
Right. Yeah.
So he went and killed a family. So what the hell?
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't his fault.
Right. Yeah.
But it was.
Right.
But when we grew up, you paid for what you did.
Yeah. What other things that you remember when he was young?
Huh?
Anything else big
That's the
that
only
you remember?
time I ever remember. It was just a bunch of kids, a bunch
bicycles.
of young boys, and they would just take a bicycle.
That's pretty harsh for bicycles, though, right? 1 year to go away?
Well, I don't know. They had done it more than one bicycle. It wasn't just one bicycle. They'd been doing it for a little bit. I don't know a lot about it.
Like a year or something, maybe?
I was raising my family.
Yeah.
And everybody didn't talk about stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we just know that Wayne was out. What in the hell's the name of that? But it's still there. I see it's in the news every once in a while.
Is it?
It's different now. I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah, it's all regulated, yeah.
Still the same general thing.
Process,
Help
yeah.
young boys to change their ways.
Yeah.
But like I say, back, even when Wayne and Dennis and my kids were young, when you got in trouble, you had a penalty to pay. Now they just pat them on the shoulder and say, well, that's okay.
Right.
Poor little boy.
Right. Yeah. You were saying something about the box car that you lived in. You said so when after World War II.
I've got pictures of that. All
really?
That.
Can I see those, or do you have to find it?
Well, if I can think, some of them I have. They're just in. So I haven't sorted through.
So did they purchase Grace and Ken purchase some land and then put the boxcar on the land? Did you rent the land? How did it work?
They owned the land.
Was it like a farm or just a piece of land?
Oh no, it was just a lot.
Okay.
And we had a little shacky house next door to them for a while. We lived next door to each other.
Really?
Yeah, but it was.
From what age? What age to what age?
Well, Wayne was born in Missouri, and Dennis was born in Missouri, and then they came up. Glenn Harvey was born up here.
Okay.
Or was he? No, I don't think he was. He was born in Missouri.
Right. Bless you.
There's all kinds of tales to go with it, but work was hard to find. Kenneth had been back in he was a merchant marine during the war.
Okay.
And they didn't recognize them as part of the military until, way up in the 1900s, somewhere around 19. Your dad could have told you. because Kenneth tried to go to the military hospital at Iowa City to get help, and because it was the Merchant Marine, and they wouldn't take him because it wasn't considered part of the military.
Okay.
And it was about that time, in the 70s or 80s, that they made that.
Started recognizing them.
They started recognizing him as part of the federal, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And when they lived in New Waukesha, they came up here. Wayne must have been about 8 or 9 when they come up here.
And then that's around when
I used to could quote all this stuff, bing, 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 but
Yeah.
there's so much in my head anymore, I can't remember all of it.
And that's when Glenn Harvey...
Wayne was born in 38,
No, 39, right?
39. They got married in 38. He was born in 39, and then Dennis was born in 41.
So you think they got married
And
because
Glenn Harvey
she was pregnant? Yeah.
Glenn Harvey was several years younger than Dennis. I used to know maybe 5 years younger.
I think my dad Wayne, you know, it hurt him a lot about Glenn Harvey.
He what?
I think he had a lot of pain about Glenn Harvey.
It hurt the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very tragic thing.
Yeah, because they were all. What was the story? They were walking to school.
The boys had gone to school, and Glenn Harvey followed my dog out to the highway, and when the dog went across the street, he tried to go across the street and got hit by the car. It was because they had to cross the highway to get to school.
So they weren't all walking together, or
They weren't all together, no. The boys had already gone to school. It was later in the day that he got hurt.
Oh, okay. Because I thought my dad said that they were all walking to school. Maybe.
Wayne and Dennis had gone to school,
Earlier that day.
and Grace was washing clothes, and Glenn Harvey was playing in the yard, and of course she was in and out washing and hanging and stuff, and he wandered off with the dog, and she didn't see him. And when he got up to the highway, that's when the dog went across the street, and he tried to go across too.
Yeah. How old was he?
When he died, he was 2.5 when he died.
Okay. So he was
He
about
was
a
about
year.
2.5 when he got hit. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
2.5, and then he laid in the hospital for a year.
And you said Grace wanted a girl, so that's why
Grace
she had...
was his mother.
Yeah, and she originally wanted some girls. She wanted a girl too,
Well,
right?
most women want a girl,
Yeah.
but she never got any. She had a miscarriage.
She had 4 boys and a miscarriage.
She had a miscarriage between Glenn Harvey and Rennie.
Yeah.
And it might have been a girl, but it wasn't. They didn't know. They didn't ever say what it was. They weren't quite as strict about
Right.
stuff. Nowadays, you've got to have this done if that happens, and blah, blah, blah. Things were not quite that strict at that particular time of history, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she did have a miscarriage. The child would have been Bobby Glenn's age. We were both pregnant.
So, like, after, I guess, backing up a little bit, after my dad came home from the boys' camp, you know, he went to school, right? Did he graduate high school, or he just went to the Navy?
It seems to me like he graduated from high school, but it was about in that age area.
Okay.
And it could be such a thing that he went right into the service, but in my
Is that something he wanted to do?
In my mind, oh yeah, they weren't forced to go.
Yeah.
They volunteered to go into the service.
Yeah. So he just...
Dennis went right after high school too.
Yeah.
It was a thing for boys did.
Really?
A lot of boys went in right out of school. Bobby went in.
So was it
right
more
out
for
of
like
school.
adventure and going and
Well,
traveling?
it was a job. Jobs were hard to find even back in those days, you know. And
Really?
it was nobody thought anything about it. Everybody went in. A lot of kids went right into the service instead of going to college.
Right. Because that was after World War II, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was what? Well,
They
because...
would have been in the 50s. They were
Yeah.
almost 60s probably.
Close to Vietnam.
Uh,
Because Vietnam was what, 60?
my boys were mixed up in the Vietnam, and Rennie would have been. Wayne and Dennis were older than that. They were in that time period between the wars.
That was like the
it
Korean.
It really wasn't. There wasn't a war going on when they went in.
Yeah.
They went in during peacetime.
And it was after the Great Depression, right?
Oh well, the Depression was before the war.
Yeah, it was
The
1900.
Depression and then the War II. Then of course they had the Korean War. But they went in even after that. I mean, Wayne born in 30 or 49. He would have been in the late 50s if he would have, let's say.
Yeah.
39, 49. He probably went into the service around 58 or so. In the middle late 50s. Of course, Dennis said was 2 years later. He went in.
Yeah. So Dennis probably went to Vietnam.
No, neither one of the boys were in Vietnam. Well,
Really?
Dennis could have been involved, but he wasn't in Vietnam itself, I don't think.
Okay, he was just involved.
He was more in the Pacific, over in. I remember he went to around Portugal and Spain and different places in the Mediterranean. So he was all over because he stayed in the service for 20 so much years. Dennis did.
Yeah.
Wayne didn't. Wayne was in the post office.
Oh,
Or
yeah?
was that Rennie? Get me confused.
Did Wayne come back here after the military? He was 4 years.
He never settled back here. He was back here, yes, because he and Linda were married back. I've got pictures of them.
Oh, yeah, let me see those.
Did you see them?
No, never have.
Well, I'll have to look and see where I've got all that stuff. I'll go.
What was her name, Linda?
But I was just looking at them recently. They may be in that bunch of stuff that Jane
Can you
went
look
through.
it up in the California?
But I've got a picture where we had the reception after Linda and Wayne got married. So
Really?
he was around here, yes. He was around
What year
here
was
when he
that?
got
Probably
married.
61, 62? No, 65?
Jane was born in 56.
So,
So he was married between 56. Right, it was after 56 that he was married because we already had Jane. And we were living on 7th Street. And he lived in, they had an apartment. And we were at, I've got a picture of, I don't think Linda's in any of them, though. But, I mean, the pictures I've got.
okay.
But we had a picture, I know I've got at least one picture of, they got married in a little church out we lived in an addition, they called it Fruitland Addition.
Okay.
Moline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's Davenport, and then you go to Rock Island, and then you go to Moline.
Okay.
And he was living at that time up above Fifth Avenue, and we were living on 7th Street. But when they were kids, they lived in what we call Fruitland Addition.
And did he know Linda before he went to the military? Or he just met her?
They were married. She used to work with Grace, his mother. She worked in a restaurant with his mother. That's how I met her.
Really? And that was the restaurant they owned?
Huh?
That was
They didn't. It wasn't her restaurant. She just worked at a restaurant.
Didn't they own a restaurant, though?
They had a restaurant. Yes.
Okay.
I've got pictures of that too, if I can find them.
Yeah. What was
like
the
I
name
say,
of
I've
that?
got
It was
boxes
Grace
of
and Lee's or
pictures.
Lee's and Grace?
Huh?
What was the name of that restaurant? Lee's and Grace?
Lee's.
Lee's?
Yeah, it's got because the picture I've got shows at Lee's restaurant and someone's in the window. My
Okay.
dad, I think. I'll have to look and see if I can find those. I don't think. See, I used to have a lot of this stuff in albums, but I've been taking them out, sorting and stuff.
Yeah.
Let me go see if I can find that. Because I figure you don't want to see all the pictures of my kids. And of course, I got a lot of pictures of my
Yeah, why not?
But I've been sorting. I think they're in that bunch that you guys were going through. Some of them.